It's story time, and today I'm going to be talking about when I took a trip to Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade, as well as got to view some iconic movie locations from some of the Marvel movies in New York City. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diz TV. If this is your first time here, welcome home. We're so glad to have you. And I apologize for the lack of videos. It's been a crazy, it's been a crazy several months, but it's been a crazy couple of weeks. But we're back now. Today, like I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about the trip I recently took to New York City, both for the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade, as well as to check out some epic Marvel movie locations from Sony, Fox, and of course the MCU. So let's dive right in. First things first, the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. Both of these are pivotal parts in the Fox X-Men movie, the first one that came out in 2000. This, of course, is the location of the final battle, as Magneto has taken Rogue. He's put her on the top of the torch, and he's going to send out like his mutant spreader out amongst the attendees and leaders of the UN as they're meeting on Ellis Island, which isn't too far away from the Statue of Liberty herself, an iconic part of the New York City skyline, but at the same time, it's also a really cool movie location, as some of it was actually shot on location. On top of that, this is a possible big location for the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home. The next stop on our epic Marvel movie location extravaganza is the home of the Daily Bugle from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, which so happens to be the Flatiron Building. You guys can see in between the light here, you have the entire Empire State Building right there, along with a whole bunch of other buildings, including this bad boy, which is the Flatiron Building, which is, of course, home of the Daily Bugle in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Our next stop, of course, at Bleecker Street. Yes, that's right. We actually got to stop on Bleecker Street, which is the home of the Sanctum Sanctorum, and this is what we got to see of it. I know, pretty disappointing. No, there is no actual Sanctum Sanctorum or any big buildings in this section that even remotely kind of look like it. It's literally a tattoo shop is where it's supposed to be. That is 177 Bleecker Street. But the next part is both from the Avengers movies, with Grand Central Station, as well as the MetLife Building, which is the location of where Avengers Tower is supposed to be in the MCU. Well, my friends, welcome to Grand Central Station, but also the location of Avengers, one of the many locations here in New York City of the first Avengers movie. Of course, this is the scene where you have both Thor and Hulk crashing through inside a Leviathan and hit this thing here, and then Hulk punches Thor to the side. But then, of course, there also is another location, the MetLife Building, which we will probably check out here in a little bit. And here, right next to Grand Central Station, which we have down here, is, of course, the MetLife Building. This is where Avengers Tower is supposed to be in the Avengers movies and everything in that sort. This is where it's supposed to be, of course, reaching higher than where the MetLife Building is. And, of course, across the way we have the Chrysler Building, which, of course, is where Thor had lightened up the portal, which would have been right up there. All these locations relatively close, and then of course we have Grand Central Station down here, and then over towards here we have the road up here, up towards the top, where most likely, of course, granted it was all shot in Cleveland, Ohio, but most likely where that whole battle would have taken place. Now, I don't think I can show you the building where Clint was at or any of that sort of stuff, but that road right over there is where the battle took place. Most of it where they had their whole assembling moment, and of course you have the Chrysler Building and MetLife Building, where Avengers Tower is supposed to be in the MCU. Pretty sweet to see it in person here in New York City. And of course, possibly one of the coolest things was being able to go visit where they filmed the final bit of the Avengers movie in Central Park. This over here is where they shot the end of the Avengers movie, right in here. Of course, you had all the cars parked along here. Then if we walk over towards here, this is where they all gathered. Right in this spot. Right along here is where I did all this. That spot there is where Thor and Loki beamed up. They're all gathered right in this section here. Of course, for the ending, Avengers, Thor, and Loki, they go up into the clouds, and they all just kind of depart their own ways, with some of them going down that street there, or going out. Definitely a really cool moment just to be standing right where Avengers was shot. Pretty sweet indeed. It's literally right over there was Thor, Cap, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Bruce Banner, Black Widow, all of them. They were all standing right in those spots right over there. Pretty awesome movie locations we got to check out. We also got to visit the Disney store. We're at the Disney store and they're celebrating 50th anniversary as well. You got all this stuff back here, all different sorts of merchandise. And of course, the big thing is they have an upstairs to this one as well. So it is quite different from any other Disney stores. Funny enough, I've been to the World of Disney more times than I've been to an actual Disney store because one by me closed. So my wallet is going to be on safeguard. Not really, but you know, I'll try. Up towards the top here, they have different landmarks. Some of the different Disney characters, like Ralph and Vanellope there. And onto the second level of the Disney store with the plush wall and all the other fun things that are here inside the store. Up here they continue the same thing that they did last time. You have some of the different castles. You also have different quotes on the wall up here. Lots of just different merchandise and things you'd normally see at a Disney store, but also some New York City exclusive. And whether you go up or down from this Disney store, you encounter the floating lanterns from, of course, the 2010 movie Tangled. Yikes, almost fell. Now let's move on, as we're going to take a look at, of course, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This was really cool to see from there in person, to see the balloons, the floats, and all that stuff in person. Where we were actually at was very close to where CBS was shooting at the time, which was pretty cool to see. Overall, I mean, it was a interesting and unique experience. I don't think I would do it again, though, just because you get such a good angle and you get to hear all the like music and dances and all that stuff from your TV, plus comforts of home and family and not being stuck in the cold, which is where we were, but still a cool experience nonetheless. The cool part about this is that we had some content for you guys, which, of course, one is the Grogu balloon, which we got to see here. This thing was pretty huge, and it was really, really cool to see that, as well as the little knob switch from The Mandalorian. Of course, it is based off the Funko Pop, which isn't there, but it is very similar to the Funko Pop that's right there. Anyways, still a pretty awesome thing to see, along with the Disney Wish, the float for the upcoming Disney cruise ship, the Disney Wish. This was really cool to see, as of course I've seen literally the characters a whole bunch, but man is it always cool to see Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and a whole bunch of others together as they were on this float. Alongside our Disney pals was Jordan Fisher. Now, he was on the float because he was singing a brand new song called Together We Sail, of course in preparation for the upcoming new ship, the Disney Wish. If you don't know who Jordan Fisher is, he is a Disney Channel guy, has been on a couple of the shows, as well as he was one of the singers for the now deceased Happily Ever After. I still wish I was back. I was very tempted to scream that, but I didn't, thankfully. And got to, of course, once that was over, got to see who we wanted, got to go back up, and actually got to see the song, Together We Sail, on the TV, as well as performing and all that other stuff. Really, really cool stuff that happened. Although, one thing I was a little disappointed about, apparently there were stormtroopers, and because of how far back I was, I did not get a chance to see them. I'm very disappointed. Apparently, it was to highlight the new VR game for Galaxy's Edge that is available, I believe, on the Quest. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, that's what it was supposed to highlight. This whole CG stuff that Disney is sponsoring. Makes me wonder if we'll see any more floats in the upcoming years for, of course, the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. But overall, this was really just such a fun time, getting to see some really cool and awesome movie locations, and of course get to experience from a different angle an iconic parade, which of course was really, really cool as well. Overall, this was an amazing experience. So glad I got to do it. And yeah, that's about it. That's the first ever story time. Don't worry, more will be coming down the road. There will be a new video tomorrow, hopefully, as long as I get it up in time for you all, for Spider-Man No Way Home. I am so excited to see it tomorrow. You'll be seeing that review tomorrow, later on. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. Really hope you did enjoy the video. Apologize for my voice. I'm still recovering from being sick. But so glad to be back doing this. Again, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos on Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, the parks, and so much more. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a magical and marvelous day. Goodbye.